Daddy, why'd they build all those pyramids? Chapter 26. December 26, 2099 AD, 9 a.m. discussion. By now you all know who I am and why I've come to this earth, but I will further explain. Christ went ahead. This world is hopelessly mired in sin and evil. If that course continues, this planet will self-destruct and eliminate the human race from existence. This has almost happened twice. Once in 2348 BC during Noah's flood, and once in your Cold War in 1962. My Father, your God, and I will not allow that to happen. My Father created all of you and loves all of you, each and every one of you, completely. Therefore, he sent me to this world 2,000 years ago to die for all of you. Now I have returned as I promised to restore you and all humanity to your original state of perfection. By doing so, it will allow all to live in peace and harmony forever for eternity. I have brought with me from heaven the new Jerusalem to be the capital of the earth. As soon as all have had an opportunity to choose to join my Father's kingdom or not, he will remake this world into the shining star of all the universe, where all you can live in your own separate mansion and travel when and where you please. Father would appreciate an answer from all in this room today as to your willingness to join his kingdom and commit your subjects to him. I urge all of you to answer in the affirmative. As you know, his patience wears thin at times. Several in the room nodded in agreement. I will now open the floor up to questions. Esther, would you have Peter bring in the wine, cheese, and crackers? Peter entered the room pushing a large cart in front of him loaded with bottles of chilled wine, assorted cheeses, all unfamiliar to the guests, and multicolored crackers. Jesus took a cracker, put some cheese on it, and popped it in his mouth. Very good, Peter, my man, he said. Peter bowed and proceeded to pour a glass of wine for each guest. Some noted the bottle was labeled Mount of Olives, 31 A.D. Jesus raised his glass in a toast to his Father. All noted the taste was so wonderful, unlike anything any of them had ever tasted. He then sat and said, "Questions?" Pope Frederick was the first to raise his hand. Jesus acknowledged him. "Dear Christ, may I see the other scar?" Jesus immediately pulled the right side of his shirt from his pants, drew back his coat, and pointed to an L-shaped scar just below his rib cage. "Praise be God," Frederick said as tears welled in his tired eyes. Tears filled Jesus' eyes as well. "Do I have your commitment, Frederick?" Jesus asked. "Yes," Frederick said in a trembling voice. "More questions? I'm sure there are many," Jesus asked as Frederick recovered. "We also commit fully to you, Lord," the president of the Protestant churches said in a voice almost inaudible. "Just tell us how to proceed." President Nehru of India then spoke. "As you know, our world is now moving steadily in the right direction. War, crime, hunger, poverty, and the economy have vastly improved over the past century. Now you are asking us to allow you to take over our roles as leaders. What assurances have we that what you say will actually happen? And how do I tell my 1 billion Indian subjects to pledge allegiance to an unknown quantity? Buddha has stood us in good stead for centuries. I don't think I can convince my people, how do you say, jump ship?" Christ stared into her dark eyes for a long moment. Then he said, "How many Indian citizens died in 2099 from any cause?" She thought for a moment, then replied, "Oh, I'd say about 25,000. "And how many will die in the next year?" he asked. She thought another moment, then said, "I hope several thousand less." "President Nehru, that is unacceptable. Even one death is unacceptable. A true tragedy. My Father created you to live in a kingdom where death is not an option." They stared at one another over a seemingly insurmountable impasse.